Guys, what's going on, and welcome back to a brand new tactics video. And today we've got a tactic all about getting the best out of a Volante in FM23. If you do enjoy the tactics on this channel, be sure to leave a like, subscribe and turn on notifications. But let's go ahead and see how good this Volante tactic actually is. So, we're going to get the powerhouse out the way. That is going to be with PSG. And as you can see, we had an incredible season. We won the Champions League, which I'm going to show you on the schedule tab because for some reason it's not showing you. We also won the French League, the French Cup and the Trophy de Champion. We scored 151 goals and only conceded 17. In terms of the actual league table, it was no competition at all. 105 points compared to Marseille with 82. In terms of the actual team stats, we're going to be looking at the most points per game at 2.76. Most goals at 151, which is nearly getting on for double of Marseille. Most shots for at 972. Fewer shots against at 216, most possession at 62%. Obviously, an incredible stat line there. We're also going to have the most clean sheets at 26, and also the fewest conceded coming in at 17. Quickly to show you, before we do go over to the data hub, the schedule tab, you can see right now, an absolutely incredible set of results, as we do expect with PSG, but the Champions League was not even close. A 5-2 win over Manchester City. I'm not going to watch the highlights of that game, so I'm going to quickly show you this screen here so you can see exactly some of the match stats. As you can see, a 5-2 win. In terms of the actual stats, it was quite a close game, as it was going to be against Man City, but we took our chances. We come out on top against a ridiculous, what a team, with Rafael Leao as well, an incredible Man City team that just isn't capable of beating this incredible Volante tactic. And going over to some of the squad stats, as you can see right now, this tactic scored way over 4 goals a game, as you would expect. So you can do the maths if you want to, but it's absolutely incredible. So Kylian Mbappe coming in with 70 goals across the entire season, 44 for Lionel Messi, 32 for Neymar, Soler with 29, obviously Icardi out on loan, 12 coming in for Vitinha, Verratti with 8, 7 for Marquinhos, even Renato Sanchez scoring a decent amount of goals over the season. In terms of the assists, we're 37 for Soler, Lionel Messi with 25, 23 for Neymar, Hakimi, very influential part of this system, 21 from him, 13 for Vitinha, 12 for Mbappe, Renato Sanchez with 10, and also 10 coming in from Danilo Pereira. Obviously a fantastic midfielder who I think is a little bit underrated in this game. I honestly really enjoy using him. So a ridiculous season with PSG. Obviously it's to be expected, but still winning 4 trophies, scoring over 4 goals a game, scoring over what would be, well, 151 league goals, getting on for 200 across all competitions is really, really good. But let's go over now to some slightly smaller teams. When I say smaller, I mean less quality, still decent sides, but let's go and do that now. Then I'm going to go over to the Dutch League with PSV, and it's an absolutely incredible season. We not only won the Dutch League, which again isn't easy against Ajax, we also won the Europa League against Arsenal, which is definitely more of an accomplishment in my opinion, because Arsenal are a fantastic team. The Europa League is still a really big trophy, especially for a side like PSV. We scored 97 goals and only conceded 30, picking up 0 red cards. And although we had a little bit of a tough time in the Champions League, at least we did bounce back and win some form of a European trophy, which in my opinion is still a massive accomplishment with this team. In terms of the team stats, we are going to go and have a look. As you can see, most points per game, most goals at 97, which is going to be a significant over 30 plus advantage over Feyenoord, and Ajax only scoring 51. Most shots for as well are 765. Fewer shots against at 216. Actually goes to Ajax and nearly read out a wrong stat line. PSV coming in with 61% possession. Obviously more than Ajax. Obviously Ajax a team which do favour that game style as well. So just goes to show how good we are on the ball. Fewest conceded, obviously both go to Ajax as well. But overall, although we weren't the most defensively solid team in the league, we won the league by a lot of points. We won a European trophy, and the fact is, we were dominant on the ball, we scored loads of goals, and that was what won us the games. Going over to the data hub, we are going to look a little bit less this season, coming in at 2.85, by far the sort of least amount of goals we did score. And that might be because we obviously focused on maintaining possession a bit too much in some scenarios, but we won the games, we won the trophies, that's what we're about. So 2.85 goals per game, conceded at 0.88, and a pass completion of 86.27%. So a really good season, scoring way over, nearly 2 goal advantage over what we were conceding, so we're going out and scoring, and also a great pass completion. Going over to the squad screen, we are going to have a little look. So as as you can see, we're actually going to have Luke de Jong coming in with 41 goals. An incredible player. Obviously, a little bit more of a target man, to be honest. Xavi Simons, the reason why I wanted to test with PSV, because I know he can play that Volante role quite well, and he just put on a really, really good display. I mean, what a player. 25 goals, 17 assists. Torgan Hazard coming in with 19 goals and 30 assists. Fabio Silva, obviously the loanee, 14 goals, 3 assists. We're going to have Verman with 12 goals, 5 assists. Sangare with 10 goals, 16. Bakayoko with 9 and 10. Obviously not the Bakayoko from Chelsea that we're used to seeing. Not anymore anyway. Junior with 4 and 11. And overall, just a really good stat line. Loads of people getting involved in the assists, as you can see here. Torgan Hazard enjoying actually a really good season. And Xavi Simons, we have got to talk about him because this guy's an absolute machine. As you can see down it, I mean, he just is a really good player. I mean, obviously we all know who he is, but an incredible time from him. What an absolute, what a game, what a season he had. Not what a game, absolute baller. We do love to see that from him. And yeah, what a season with PSV. We're going to go over to 4th place predicted Besiktas, obviously over in the Turkish league, and we have come out and won the Turkish league over the likes of Galatasaray, Trabzonspor, and also Fenerbahce, 3 of the ones that were predicted to finish above us, and we've done it quite convincingly as well. Obviously 6-point advantage, that arguably is 2 games, or is 2 games I could have afforded to lose, and luckily we didn't, obviously making us the champions, scoring 106 goals and only conceding 31. Obviously, no much more success. I mean, the Turkish Cup, we did match up against one of the powerhouses in Turkey. Unfortunately, it would have been nice to win 2 trophies, but we've got to take the Super League anyway. That was the main focus. And going over to the team stats, it's looking quite pretty. Most points per game, most goals at 106. Most shots for 812. Fewer shots against at 280. Most possession, again, I want to say we're dominating the possession across every save. So if you are a fan of possession, this one is going to be for you. Most clean sheets at 18, and also the fewest conceded at 31. A really good season in terms of the trophies, obviously being the league trophy, and also these sort of stats. Going over to the data hub, we are going to be looking at 2.94 goals per game, conceded at 0.86, and a pass completion of 85.44. So, to be honest, this tactic is definitely capable of scoring 4+, probably even more when we go over the tactic and I sort of describe how we can score more goals with it. With one of the powerhouse teams, it's easily 4 goals plus, with sort of a not mid-table, but a sort of a team which is relatively good in their division. You're going to be looking at 3 goals, 3.5 possibly, but still a really good display. And obviously defending is quality as well. And 0.86, way under a goal a game. Going over to the squad screen, we are going to look right now. We're going to have Akbar, coming in with 40 goals, 15 for Gazelle, Tosun with 13, 12 for Maxime, Fernandez with 11, 9 for Redmond, Maleka coming in with 6 as well. The assists, we're going to have 12 for Fernandez, Gazelle coming in with 11, 9, 9, 9, 9, 8, 8. I mean, what we're seeing again is what I always like to see with tactics is when we've got loads of players coming involved in terms of what they do, whether that be assists, whether it be goals, link-up play, whatever it is. Just so one player's getting involved, going forward, creating chances, even creating the chance that creates the chance, if that makes sense. Threading just a play through the middle and building up, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing. A really good amount of goals, by the way, from this lad here, who I can't say I've used too much, obviously, at the age of 31 as well. Maybe he's a hidden gem. I'm not entirely sure, but still, a great season out of him. And the testing phase has gone really, really well. Obviously, PSG, you're going to expect a really good set of results, but it's nice to see this performing well with sort of teams which are good, but obviously not the quality of a PSG. We're going to watch the goals from one of the PSV league games, obviously against FC Groningen, and we come out and absolutely thumped these 6-0, and we are going to watch a mixture of goals as Luke de Jong does obviously pick up quite a few this game. I remember playing this one actually, as Hazard does get the first one tucked in the left-hand corner. I believe de Jong actually picked up a hat-trick in this game. He had a really good season, as there's going to be Teze going down the right-hand side. Absolutely acres of space. It's going to be a poor clearance as Junior taps it in. It's actually going to be Simons who I believe nabs the goal there, but he's in the box. He's a danger man. We do love to see it, and he had a great season as well, as it's going to be Verman who tucks in the 3rd goal with a penalty inside of the 24th minute. So this game was definitely one-way traffic. It's going to be Junior now into Verman in midfield, into Simons, who had such a good game, into de Jong, who goes through completely one-on-one. And that is one of the most outrageous finishes outside of the box. Nowhere near the goal, really. The keeper just completely beaten, as they're going to be Hazard with a ball in the box into de Jong. And that is what he does so good. He's good one-on-one. He's good in the air. He's the ultimate target man, in my opinion. We're going to build up from the back a little bit here with a ball into Sangare. Again, one of my favourite midfielders. Teze out wide, who's going to drive the ball across into de Jong. It's just, if he's in the box, he's going to get a goal. It's the way this man operates, an incredible goal for an incredible striker. But no, an incredible game for an incredible team, obviously 6-0. And the great thing about showing you this game was we got to see how the chances get created, how the goals go in, the mixture of obviously in the air stuff, through one-on-one, a little bit more direct approach as well. And it's just a really good game to show you. And that is why I always like to pick out the games with a few goals, because we get to see how all of them actually go in. I just want to quickly say, guys, if you are enjoying today's video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you do want to see more of my tactics, you can wait until the end of the video, where it will display a full playlist of every single tactic I have posted on this game. There's loads to choose from, and if you have got any suggestions, feel free to comment them below as well. But let's go ahead and break down this fantastic Volante focus tactic. So this is going to be the victorious Volante tactic, obviously a tactic designed to get the best out of a Volante. And we're going to waste no time by going into this, but I do want to quickly say, as I always do, if you're a Patreon member, which you can become from clicking the link in the description, you get access to all 3 variants, early release, priority in tactic requests and rebuild requests, one-on-one help with your tactics, and also exclusive giveaways. So be sure to click the link below to check that out. And I want to quickly thank all of the names floating down the screen right now, because you are the absolute go-to who make all the difference on this channel. You help me out massively and obviously make this dream sort of come true. So let's go ahead and talk tactics. It is going to be based around a attacking mentality. In possession, you want fairly wide, pass into space, play out of defense, a shorter passing directness, a higher tempo. And what I want to say quickly about this is, although we are on a shorter passing directness, that is obviously where we do get the possession stat from. That is why we're so good on the ball. But I opted to have pass into space on as well, because we did make some really good runs in behind. And sometimes when you don't have that on, you miss out on them good runs. Simple as that. So it is good to have both of these on, in my opinion. Work ball into the box, just because, you know, majority of the chances you are going to create are going to be good ones, obviously inside of the box. Low crosses when it comes to the final third, and be more expressive. In transition, we've got counter press, counter, distribute to the fullbacks and the centre backs who take short goal kicks. I did notice a lot of the time it was going to the centre backs, so to be honest, you probably could take off the fullback option if you wanted to. And out of possession, you've got the standard line, a high press line of engagement much more often, and also prevent short goalkeeper distribution. Going over to the player roles, we've got a sweeper keeper on support, on tackle harder, a fullback on the right, on attack, on run wide, shoot less often and stay wider. The right-hand sided centre-back is going to be told to stay wider. That is a ball-playing defender. The left-hand side is going to be on defend, on not stay wider, and that is because this fullback is on attack, but he's told to sit narrower and also shoot less often. So he doesn't need to stay wider, this left-hand sided one, because this fullback is also going to be sitting narrower. And the reason why is because on this hand side, we've obviously got a wide winger, and I want a fullback to sort of be inside option. And on this side, we've actually got an inverted winger who stays inside, so we want that fullback to stay wider. So sort of like, you know, asymmetrical sort of style, if you want to say that. Going over to what is going to be the 2 in midfield, we're going to have a Volante on support, on dribble less, shoot less often, and tackle harder. And next to him, a Volante on attack, obviously the key part of this tactic, on attack, on take more risks, dribble more, and also tackle harder. I did try and have 3 Volantes in the midfield in a 4-3-3, but it just doesn't work. It's really not good. Volantes, in my opinion, are the best in the 4-2-3-1, and I think that is just literally what it says on the tin. I mean, you can overcomplicate things with 3 Volantes, and having that definitely does, so I'll stick with the 2. Going over to the left-hand side, we've got a winger on attack, on close down more and tackle harder, and on the right we've got an inverted winger also on attack, on simply tackle harder. We then opted for a shadow striker on attack in the middle on the default instructions, and to finish it off, it's going to be the advanced forward on attack, on dribble less, and also shoot more often, because that is why he got so many goals. He was having the shots at the goal. Simple as that. And that is going to be the default version broken down. I do want to quickly say, we are now going to go for the attacking and defensive variant, so you're not forced to become a Patreon member. I never would want to do that to you guys. So let's go over and talk about the attack and variant now. And there's very few changes because the tactic already is so attacking, and that is why there's been no changes made to any of the front 4. What we've simply done is obviously added a Volante on the left-hand side, but changed him to an attacking duty, and he's going to be on dribble less, shoot less often, and tackle harder. To partner him is exactly the same as we did see before, but there's not much change in terms of the actual player instructions. The changes happen inside of the team instructions, so it is going to be an attacking mentality. In possession, we've still got fairly wide, we've still got pass into space, still got play out of defense. Everything's exactly the same, apart from we've now got run at defense on, a bit more aggressive on the break, and obviously having them run at the defense, you're going to essentially have the front 4 flying, the Volantes flying. It's absolute carnage. So this is one I would recommend that you only use if you are going to be using this to simply get back into a game, whether that be you go 1-0 down or you start a game a couple goals down on aggregate, something like that is what I would recommend doing. Going over to what is going to be the in transition tab, we're going to have counter press, counter, distribute quickly, distribute to the fullbacks and the centre backs. So again, exactly the same with the distribute quickly on. And out of possession, we actually have gone on this occasion with a higher line. Again, this is to be used if you were chasing a game to desperately try and get a goal. I wouldn't recommend going in with a higher line to every single game because it's just not really, pleasable. You are simply going to get caught out by the big team. So I would recommend you only switch to this if you are desperate for a goal. Now, going over to what is going to be the defensive variant, here we are. So there are quite a few changes now. We are actually going to opt for a supportive, a positive mentality in possession. We're going to have a fairly wide pass into space, exactly the same, but we've taken off the be more expressive. We've still got to the work ball into the box on, sorry, but just having be more expressive is a little bit too creative, a little bit too expressive. I know it's cliche, but it is what it is. And I want to be a little bit more reserved and obviously seal out the game. In transition, we're going to have counter press, no counter or hold shape, keep it blank, slow the pace down, and also out of possession, we've gone back to the standard line and kept it exactly the same as the first variant. Now, there are a few changes in terms of the player instructions. We've got a supportive winger on these instructions here. On the right hand side, another supportive winger on these instructions, and we've actually sacked off the shadow striker for an advanced playmaker on support, on hold up the ball, tackle harder, and also mark tighter. We then wanted to keep Volante. I was very close to changing the Volante with sort of like a ball winning midfielder, but I thought the tactic is literally designed to be based around the Volante. I can't go switching it now, so we've got two support Volantes on tackle harder. Literally both of them exactly the same, and the fullbacks are exactly the same on instructions, but simply told to be on supportive just so they're not as attacking going forward. And this honestly was a really good one. I tested it out in several games where I went a couple of goals up, and we didn't go out and score loads of goals playing like this, but we were really defensively solid. I noticed a lot more possession on the ball, a lot more calm on the ball, so this is definitely a good way to seal out your games if you are feeling under pressure and you just want to sort of get the game done. But that is going to be all three variants of the Volante, the victorious Volante tactic broken down. Honestly, I love making these type of videos where it's based around a certain position. So if there's a unique position that you want to see me make a video on, whether that, obviously we've done a Volante, we've done a Mezzala, a shadow striker, any of them, do let me know in the comments if you wish to see them. And that is going to be it for today, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you boys in the next one.